Welcome back to the morning show right here on Channel 18 Outside Television. Hanging out here with Papa Jon Stavney, raft guide extraordinaire, and also the executive director of the Northwest Colorado Council of Governments.
Yeah, thank you,
once again, thanks so much for being on the show,
Oh, my
John.
pleasure.
This is very interesting, and it's a big conversation piece. We could pretty much do the whole show, so we're going to do our best to be as informative as possible without overdoing it. But so we got 22 members, municipalities that are members of the Council of Governments, and how many of them are in Grand County?
In 5 counties. Grand is one of the 5 counties, and then each of the municipalities in Grand County is also a member of Northwest COG.
Any
so
idea how many
Winter
that would
Park
be?
and Fraser, and I don't think Tabernacle is, but Winter Park, Granby, Kremling.
So what happened? At one
Hot
point-
Sulphur Springs. Did I miss anybody? I
These
think I got everybody.
Did these towns come find you? Did someone come around and kind of give them a plan and a proposition?
Yeah, they each pay into a little bit of member dues, not a whole lot, but enough to kind of help us leverage that money into a lot of federal and state grants and dollars.
So that's
really
right.
what we had to
That's
sell.
where it is.
Yeah.
Not that the members are paying and then it's getting redistributed to the members.
No. It is in different ways. So our aging and broadband efforts, our Northwest Loan Fund, all these different things. We have a real grab bag of different things that we sort of redistribute back out through different programs.
And I noticed on your website one of the important aspects of this is critical mass, that we don't have big enough population centers here, and so by banding together, we actually can apply for these federal.
Grand County is a great example of that. Huge, beautiful county. I don't know what state to compare it to. Is it as big as Rhode Island or whatever? Delaware, thank you. But I mean, we're talking about less than 15,000 people. I mean, this is not a going concern municipality on the Front Range at 15,000, right? So to have leverage and to be able to, get your voice out there and to be able to draw in dollars, we're a big help as a regional organization.
I can believe it. Yeah, that's incredible. So let's get into economic development, because that's a huge thing going on right here in Grand County. It's a big conversation piece all throughout, especially this end of the county. We're seeing massive growth right now, which we are happy to see finally. It's been kind of a slow crawl out of 2008.
So one of our founding purposes at Northwest COG is economic development, and we are the Economic Development District, which there's an Economic Development Administration. You may not know that at a federal level, but so we have to pull together, and we're just finishing a comprehensive regional. We went out and did listening tours and SWOT analysis of needs and whatnot. All that to kind of gather up information that goes back out for us to go get grants and whatnot. And one of the things that recently has come about, which is wonderful, came from half from Economic Development Administration and half from Freeport-McMoRan, the Henderson Mine folks, We've got news in Grand County and Clear Creek County that they're going to be shutting down a little bit in the future.
Huge news. I mean, this is
huge news. And
losing the mine is a lot of tax revenue. There's a lot of
it's jobs,
I mean,
but it's really a lot of revenue. And Clear Creek, frankly, is taking a much bigger hit than Grand County. But Grand County, hey, $1.5 million off of their tax rolls is nothing to sneeze about.
And a lot of our residents commute over the pass into Clear Creek County to work.
So. For them, it's more like, I can't remember the exact number, 60 some odd % of their budget, their revenues. So is the valuation of that mine. So Northwest COG is the receiving agent of that grant from the Economic Development Administration, and we just, with Clear Creek and Grand County representatives, Diane Butler and Lee Stabb from Grand County, the Grand County manager, sat down and interviewed. We had 10 or 12 different folks respond to the RFP for a resiliency grant, making a plan for what to do and study these 2 counties. And we sat down and rolled up our sleeves and
we're trying to replace the money, or we're trying to put a water slide in the mine?
Well, we're trying to have each of the 2 counties, and there'll be sort of different plans. It's a firm out of Boston that was selected. And I get an inside joke there?
No, it wasn't. They started both laughing. I wasn't even.
Water slide in the mine.
A lot of times we're trying to be outside the box with how we can use properties in a tourist town, And so I think of I'm going to Kauai next week.
Slide.
I'm going to Kauai next week, and they took a sugar plantation. There's tubing down the sugar plantation, so I was like, maybe they'll put a water slide in the mine. I don't know what they're going to do.
Actually, the mine, as I understand it, is still going to be owned by Freeport-McMoRan. They're going to retain that, but they're not going to be operating. So there's actually going to be
So it'll be like the Climax mine used to be shut down, and that reopened, and so this one will now be dormant.
But the good news is it provides an opportunity for gathering input from the community and come up with some different ideas for how to sort of like, what next, right? And that's going to be happening on the ground. You'll be hearing about these meetings, the stakeholder meetings and interviews going on, and coming up with a plan for the county. Grand County, I have to compliment, is really forward-leaning into economic development right now.
And that's coming from the municipalities, like?
I think it's coming mainly from the county. I mean, I'm not as tuned in yet to the towns as I am the county. But, you know, they have an economic development director, Diane, which not all places do. We were talking a little bit at the break about they have a director of higher education. No higher education yet, but they're like, they want to go get it.
Yeah,
exactly. It's economic development. And so they're really forward leaning into this. And Patrick Brower and what he does, you probably know
absolutely.
him, you know. So
there's helping small businesses.
Good to win. And so, I mean, I'd like to brag on Grand County a little bit because,
well, I was going to cut you off to go to break, but go ahead and break.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
No, in the other places we represent, Jackson notwithstanding, Summit and Eagle and Pitkin, there's been a lot of like, hey, the growth is too much, the housing is an issue, and, you know, hey, we're a little nervous about this economic development thing. But in Grand County, they've really leaned into it, and I think they're gonna bear
embrace
fruit.
it and let's do it. So, all right, well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we do want to talk a little more about broadband and some other services that you guys have helped fulfill. Once again, we're hanging out with Jon Stavney here. He is the Executive Director of the Northwest Colorado Council of Governments. So we'll be back in a moment. Thanks again, Jon.
Thank you.